I just saw a video where one of our brother who is in the diaspora is doing a comparative analysis between America and Nigeria. But my own, I'm not talking about Nigeria because the whole continent is almost is on par, right? So his what he was talking was the fact that he went to maybe probably ChatGPT or DeepSync or Gemini and asked if President Joe Biden had ever sought for medical treatment outside of the United States of America. And the answer he got was no. So he went ahead to ask if Donald Trump had ever gone for medical checkup or medical treatment outside of the country. It's the same answer is what he got, say no. So it started talking about our own country. And that's it's not something that you need to Google. We know that our heads of state do travel out of the country to seek for medical treatment. Now, the whole idea is the complaint that I'm seeing on the comment sections and then the people's response is that the problem is the government. But I'm saying no, it is not only the government, it is all of us. Every one of us are not doing what we are supposed to do because our value system is upside down. And sometimes we think that those guys in those positions fell from heaven. They're like us. In other words, if they reshuffle the entire position and pick you and put you in that position and make you head of state, there is every possibility that you are going to repeat the same mistake because you have the program already. Now, let me make it clear. I'm not a hypocrite. If I find myself as the president of Nigeria today and I'm having problem, maybe serious health issue, I'm going to fly out of the country. It is not only me that created the problem. It is a collective problem that we created for ourselves. Because if you yourself, if you are there, you do the same thing that they are doing. The question we should be asking is very simple. What is the symptom that is producing each and every one of us that have this type of mentality? The whole problem lies in our ability to maintain things in this continent. It's not just about building. Now, let me tell you, no matter how small the hospitals in this country are, it is going to be able to take care of all the people in this country if we put it in a proper shape, if we take care of them. Now, you go to some of the hospitals, both private and government-owned hospital, you cannot differentiate between a shrine and a hospital. That is not the state that the hospital was when it was built in the first time. It was looking cute, sharp, everywhere was fine. But human beings that lack the capacity and the capability to maintain things were handling those places. And what you have is a degenerated system. Now, currently, they are building hospital that will be able to match whatever you have in America, whatever you have in Japan, whatever you have in China. That is going to cost about $750 million. That's over almost $1 billion. And you're checking it in Naira, that's going to be about maybe like 1.5 trillion Naira. The problem is not the building. I'm going to bet you if the president of Nigeria currently builds that place to completion by 2025, as the statistic stated, as I researched, I will bet you that in the next 10 years, the new heads of state will start flying out of the country. Why? Because we would have degenerated the entire hospital into what we have right now. We don't know how to maintain things. I was discussing with one of my mentors, and he has been in America for the past 50 plus years. He left, I think, in the 1960s. He started in UCLA. And while we were discussing, I asked him questions about this situation. And the same answer keep on coming, that it is our inability to maintain things. He said he went to the dormitory where he lived as a student in the 60s. He said the room was still in a perfect shape as though the time he left. In fact, it's even more ultra-modern today. Now you take a walk and go to the university near to you. I don't care where that university is. Go and check the state of that particular university. I was admitted to study architecture in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, in 2013. When I arrived there, I cannot differentiate inside there from zoo. If you see our hostel, no window. If you see the mattress that we are sleeping on, it's like the back of a pot, dirty. If you see the front of our hostel, so to speak, that is where we throw our dirties. If we cook, we throw it there. If we bath, we throw everything in dilapidated state. That's where we are sleeping. Everywhere is like prison. Lack of maintenance. We don't paint there. Like you are talking about painting, you don't have windows. The cupboard is in everything has fallen off. But if you check in the 70s, when that place was built, it was a perfect architecture because I can see the way it was designed. We don't maintain it. Now, for instance, you are waiting for the president to come and change it. If I'm the VC of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, with the kind of articulation I have right now, I'll bring out a single semester. Nobody's going to class. Guys, let's make this place a beautiful place. Everybody, hands on deck. We are going to be the one to fix the window. The whole terrain, we are going to be the one to carve out the roads, the flowers, use chippings to make it look beautiful for our own sake. We are teaching them XYZ, mathematics this, but we are not teaching them proper conduct. So when they go out there, they continue to regurgitate the same mentality. That's why I tell people time and time again, the problem is weighing more on our parenting and our academics than it weighs on the government. Those are the places we are being produced. You didn't fall from heaven. If I find myself as a senator today, as a president in my country, I'm not going to perform beyond what I have in my head. That is the fact. If you see our toilet in the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, come on. You would think that these are not where human beings are living. And even if people come to work on it, they will come to mop the place and clean it. The next morning you come back, you'll be asking, are these human beings or animals, man? We are not taught how to handle things. So it's not necessarily the government, it is the problem. It is a prevailing mentality in every one of us to destroy things and not repair them. I was still discussing with my mentor, and I was telling him that some time ago I read where it was said that the roads built by Hitler in the 1930s are still there intact to date. There are some roads that are built maybe 15 years back in our country. If you look, if you don't know whether it is road or whatever. You know why? Because we are not people that are trained to maintain things. It is in every facet in our system. You go to the corporate industry, you are being employed, you come to an office looks like a place where children are playing. Office is supposed to be glary, shining, attractive. That is the system we are in. So the same way it is in the political system, the same way it is at home, the same way it is in the school, the same way it is in the church, the same way it is in the corporate industry. And until we begin to tell ourselves the truth that we all are a part and parcel of the problem in the system, we can never change anything in Africa. It's not only Nigeria. That's how it is if you go to Ghana, Burundi, Rwanda, Congo, Mali, Botswana, Czech Republic, Namibia, anywhere you go in Africa, that is the prevailing situation over there, that we can't maintain what we built. Most of the hospitals that our founding fathers built, most of the universities they built, if you go there right now, you will not, you ask yourself, is this thing built when Jesus was born, or is it built in the 20th century? Harvard University, as you know it, is the first university was built in the United States. If you go right now to their hostels, to their class, it is now ultra modern. They are not going backward, they are going forward. It is being maintained in a proper order. You come to universities that are built in the 70s, in the 60s, you can ask yourself, this thing was built 20,000 years ago. Everywhere has gone berserk. So what is the issue in the system? Our mentality. We ought to grow as individuals. Like, the truth be told, I wasn't seeing all of these things in the past. Anywhere I go, I believe that everything is supposed to be that way. But currently, if I go out right now, it dawned on me that I'm seeing things that I wasn't able to see before. Today, some of you go out, you take sachet water, you throw it on the way anyhow you like. You defecate anywhere you like. You urinate anywhere you like. That's because you don't understand what it means to maintain things. I listened to a young man in the it's our brother in the diaspora, who was saying that the reason why we cannot develop Africa or civilize Africa is because maintenance is not in our culture. That is, I don't know what to say about it. That's dumb, man. What is that? Maintenance is not in our culture. Maintenance has been in our culture for eons now. In my village, I grew up in a family that we didn't have zinc, as they call it those days. What we use is ordinary grass. I don't know if you know that type of building in those days. Now, every year, my father is going to invite people to cut grass, and he himself will join them to cut grass, and we bring it back home, and they will remove the one that is there already and put a new one. Next year again, they will still do the same thing. I know for sure, because myself was part of the people who goes to the hill when I started growing up in my 13, 14, 15 to cut those grasses and bring it down to our village and bring it down to our house so that we can use it to replace the one. What do you call that? That is maintenance. We had bathrooms that is being made with just normal grasses and all of that. When it spoils, we pull it apart and build a new one. That's maintenance. Don't think that maintenance is when you are fixing some complicated engineering works altogether. So if we had that type of mentality, we should be able to maintain our hospitals, able to maintain our schools, able to maintain our corporate industries, able to maintain our churches and our mosques. But we can't. You go to some churches, you ask, is this where people come to praise God? The problem is everywhere. It's not only in the political system. Everywhere. Anywhere you touch, that's the problem. So you have to start teaching our kids how to manage things, how to take care of things. Until we do that, we can never build Africa. It doesn't matter how long we continue to cry, blame, point accusing finger to one another. We have to first of all deprogram ourselves from our faulty mentality of how a system ought to be, and then start reprogramming ourselves for the type of system we want to have. Until then, we can never build this continent. That's what it is. For instance, what is it taking the entire continent of Africa to say brain drain is enough? Right now, we have 10,000 medical doctors from Nigeria practicing in UK. They are the best medical doctors you can find anywhere in the world. You go to America, the same thing. Yet what we have back home here are deficient medical doctors. I'm not going to use my life to do a test, in medical field. I'm not going to do that. I had some issues sometimes ago. I needed to go to a hospital. I had to research online before I found one hospital, but Dr. Save Life Foundation. When I went there, what I saw online was exactly what I saw. Ultra-modern in Port Harcourt. Everything was like highly refined. I wasn't going to play with my life. I'm not a beast in the jungle. I'm not an animal. This is 21st century. But I've been to other hospitals. I didn't go to hospital to receive street treatment anyway. But I've been there and I look at the entire places, the people working there. It is as though they are in the shrine. Dirty, stinky. Now, that is the place you want people to come to be treated so that you treat them. It's not possible. Every one of us need to do what we need to do. We have to take care of what we have built already. We can't continue to complain. No matter how we complain, it's not going to change anything. The best thing to change things is to deploy strategic thinking and work. Stop defecating anywhere. Stop tearing down the system. Protect it. Rebuild it. I was in Enugu sometimes. Now, I think last week or last 2 weeks, I saw cultural center. It was built. If you see the architecture, perfect, ultra modern. But I bet you, if I go back to Enugu, the next 5 years, you will close your eye to see that cultural center, because we would have degenerated it. We would have put it in a state of shambles. That's the problem. You see the reason why every one of us is the problem, because all of these places that I'm calling, it is not Mr. President that is going to come there to do it. It is individuals that are working there that are putting it in a destabilized manner, and nobody is talking about it. Once we come to the realization that you and I are part and parcel of the problem, we begin to ask ourselves, what is the best way out? The best way out is to start deprogramming and reprogramming our teachers and our parents. The highest weight of problem in the society is traceable back to our homes and our school system. These are the two places that holds the key to whatever a society becomes. Our education system, our parenting, master key. We need to ask ourselves, what do we really want in this system? Are we going to build it or not? We can only build it when we tell ourselves that we are not doing the right thing. Don't blame one set of group. Blame every one of us. I'm not saying that the people in the system are not. I'm telling you that all of us are like that. It's just the way we are standing. If we take you right now and place you there, you commit the same atrocity. Let's begin to reprogram our young people. That's the best thing we can do. If you go to a traffic light, you see police people standing there, or whatever name they are called. You see somebody, you ride his car, you will not obey the traffic light. Tomorrow you ask me what's the problem in the country, say the president. You are sick mentally. You see how all of us are part and parcel of the problem, and nobody wants to talk about it. I wasn't aware of this because I've been sleeping all my life. I just wake up from sleep. I'm still sleeping in part of my age. That's why I continue to learn, to read, to study, to seek for information. And the more I seek, the more I see, the more I wake up. That's the way we can only wake up. If I get children, I'm not married. If I'm married today and I start having my kids, I'm going to teach them to be people of proper conduct in the society. There's some certain things they can't do. If you do that way, and everybody else does that, the school system will not be destroyed. The health system will be in perfect shape. The corporate industry, perfect shape. The churches and the mosque, perfect shape. But you can't have people that deeply inside they are destabilized already and think that the structures around them will not be destabilized. It doesn't work that way. You make your money right now, the first place you think is to go to Dubai. But we have a Bodo Cattle Ranch. You will not go there. You see why? Because you feel that the Bodo Cattle Ranch is already in destabilized state. There are zoos in our universities. We are studying zoology there. But there are no animals there. What you have there now are tortoises and snakes. All the animals have died off because we are not able to maintain those animals. The system is in a perpetual jeopardy. And you and I are the cause. Not only the president, they are part and parcel of it, but all of us are part of the problem. And until we wake up to the reality, we will continue to cry and point accusing finger to one another and never do the necessary thing. This is what I wanted to share with you guys. And if you find this video quite interesting, all I want you to do is very simple. Go ahead right now and share this video with your family and friends. And don't forget that I remain Captain Africa. Ad Astra.